I never trust the guys in the back over here, I tell you. Gee.
I think Les.
There he is.
I was going to say, I think Les is in the washroom swearing at the MCs who forgot him earlier. It was Barry's fault, Les. I'm sorry. I was in the washroom because I was off. No. On E. This is the Indian mic?
Yes, it is.
You know, it's amazing. I was the smallest guy on this team. They used to call me Twiggy. Now I look like Yogi Berra. But, you know, despite that I was the smallest guy, tonight they picked me to come up here and talk. You know why? They're all afraid to speak to the public. So whatever I say, you know, you guys are going to have to bear the responsibility for that. But first of all, I would like to thank Nipissing First Nation for, I believe it was Chief Commander back in those days that supported this hockey club. Our loyal fans who were there by the busload, thanks to Ben McLeod. I remember some nights, I guess there was a lot of mud on the roads, and the people still somehow made it up to the games. I want to thank our coaches over the years, especially Ray, who was with us with the championship team. I did have a chance also to play with for Jack Dillon, but I know that all the players had a very high regard for Ray and Mr. Dillon. Notice I call him Mr. Dillon. Sorry, Ray. I also want to thank our stick boy who made it from Red Deer, I believe it was, Red Lake, Norman Roy, who was a big part of our hockey team. He made sure my one stick was always ready. That's not funny, that's true. I also want to tell you a little bit of trivia, too. I was actually born in Sturgeon Falls, in St. John de Brébeuf. So I spent the first couple of days of my life here. So I'm honored to be welcomed to the West Nipissing Hall of Fame. I want to give special thanks to the Hall of Fame for recognizing this team. And I want to thank Ray Lachance, Roger Lachance, or Roger Lachance in English. Don't laugh, you encourage me. I would also like to thank Stella McLeod, who was our biggest supporter over the years. Stella used to sell 50-50 tickets so that Frankie could continue to play because she would pay for the fines. I would like also to speak a bit about two players that aren't here. I remember many times when Ross would come to the bench or stand, what we called him Ross, that Mr. Trepanier would always say, that's how you should come off the ice. Tired, use everything you've got out there. Of course, I never broke a sweat because I had one stick. But Ross was a real hard worker. I also want to pay a special tribute to Jack Commanda. I remember going to my first games when I was 14 and 15, and Jack was just this big, hulking guy who would go from one end of the rink to the other and do whatever damage he could. A great hockey player. For a lot of us back in the 60s and 70s, hockey was a diversion from the life among our community. And in our community, as you know, in those days, it was very rough and very hard to cope with a lot of things that were going on. And it was a diversion. It was something that I personally felt, and I know many of my other teammates felt the same way. It made us special in our community. And, you know, you have to be thankful for that. And I know that Sammy probably feels the same way.